Continuing with reading my English translation of the Quran, this is chapter 02, the account of the Heifer of Israel. I will read verses 219 to 228. They had asked for your input regarding the subjects of alcohol and gambling. In these matters you shall say, they are major sins that can permeate and impair a person's character. They do offer some economic benefits to society. However, the harm they cause far outweighs their benefits. They had asked for your input regarding a person's charitable spending. In this matter you shall say, the amount of money you are able to appropriate for charity should come from your disposable income, from the money left over after taking care of your living expenses. The spirit of peacemaking, Allah, God, explains His rulings to you so you would make careful considerations and think together in a collective manner about their implications in this transient world and what they mean to the soul's permanent world, which comes right after the end of this one. They had asked for your input regarding the interests of orphan children. In this matter you shall say, improving the value of their assets is in their best interest. If you use their assets in joint commercial ventures, then you would have to give them their fair share, as you would give your own brother. It will be known to God who among you was an honest custodian of their assets and who was a plunderer. God, the Spirit of one in all people, Allah, could burden you with unreasonable demands if He wanted to, because His Spirit is sovereign and His judgment transcends human reasoning. Abstain from marrying the unguided, idol-worshipping women until they renounce their faith in the God that you worship, until they announce your faith. Abstain from marrying the unguided, idol-worshipping women until they announce their faith in the God that you worship. A woman of your faith that happens to be in bondage is better for you than an idolater, even though you may have found the idolater more attractive. Abstain from giving your women in marriage to the morally unguided, idol-worshipping men until they declare their faith in the God that you worship. A man of your faith that happens to be in bondage is better for you than an idolater, even though you may have found the idolater more attractive. Idolaters will lead you in the direction of their calling, the darkness of self-enslavement, their hell on earth. On the other hand, by His grace, God will lead you in the direction of His calling, the light of liberation and soul redemption, your heaven on earth. The Spirit of peace on earth, Allah, God, explains the articles of His covenant to the people, so they would remind each other of humanity's accounts and develop a collective sense of the true spirit of history. They had asked for your input regarding the delicate matter of female menstruation. You shall say it is a temporary ailment of their nature, and so give a woman a break from physical intimacy during her period. Practice abstention until a woman's health is made whole again and her body is restored in cleanliness. When her body is clean again, you may resume the affair of intimacy and join yourself with her in the zone that God had commanded you to access for that purpose. God, the Spirit of all that is pure in creation, Allah, will be pleased with you when you heed His call, for He loves people that give up sins, who strive to purify their hearts from the contamination of twisted, foul desires. A woman that finds her belonging in you is like the rich soil that nurtures your seed to life generously and affectionately. You can plow your soil as you like, but sacrifice some of your selfishness to accommodate each other. Keep God in the heart of your relationship with a woman, and stay away from doing things that might displease Him. Keep in mind that at the end of your journey in this world, you will meet with your Maker. So spread the news to all the faithful, telling them of the dainty things that lie ahead waiting for them. Swearing by God, using His name lightly, and taking an oath with yourself does not give you a justification to abstain from virtue and the practices of morality. It is not a justification to free yourself from your duty to do something noble, to engage in resolving quarrels and disagreement, including your own, to bring them together as a neutral referee, to reconcile their differences, and to show them some peaceful means to resolve their hate and enmity, and to demonstrate to society how evil can be quelled. God, the Spirit of truth in all creation, Allah, knows the true intentions of your oaths. He hears the words of every man, and He knows a serious commitment from a lie. God will not hold you accountable for using His name frivolously and saying oaths inflated with exaggerated, inane words, but He will hold you accountable for the real intentions you had harbored in your heart. He will release you from the guilt of those oaths, because it is in God's nature to be understanding of the fragile human condition and to be forgiving. His tolerance for bad behavior is immeasurable. We say to that man who swore an oath of abstinence from his wife that he should do so for 4 months. If during that time he retracts the oath and resumes the affair of his marriage in all of its aspects, then God will not ask him to account for the mistake he had committed. God will pardon personal indiscretions, because it is in His nature to be compassionate and forgiving to all people. But if a man had made up his mind and had resolved to divorce his wife, he will find that God will not stand in his way. It is in His nature to listen to the most intimate voices of the heart, to sympathize with a grievance, and to perceive the real reasons that cause resolutions. A divorced woman should practice abstinence and remain in a self-denying state of celibacy for a duration of 3 menstrual periods. She is forbidden from concealing her knowledge of a life that God may have created in her womb. She has to disclose a pregnancy to all concerned parties so she can keep her faith honest. Her truthfulness is a test of the honesty of her faith in God, and a test of her conviction in the coming of a new day for her, after all her days in this world had come to an end. It is a test of the honesty of her faith in the rights of the collective soul. If her former husband wanted to mend fences during the waiting period and repair what was broken in their relationship, then he should be given the right to remarry her before you consider other suitors. A woman's rights and responsibilities are spelled out in the declarations of her contract, but a husband has an additional implicit right that was established by the fact that he was the one who took the initial initiative to enter into a relationship. He is given the power to be the initiator of decisions. God, the one Spirit that binds all people in a common fabric, Allah, reveals the solutions of equity. His Spirit is supremely authoritative, and His judgment offers a cure to social ailments.